What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we've got Digimon TCG news to talk about that is pretty gosh darned exciting. So why don't we start off with news of a new set? You see, the next Japanese set has actually gone and been listed over on Amazon Japan. They've literally got a listing for the new set. Seems a little bit, whoa, frankly rude if we don't go and have a little bit of a look. Now, as always, the information we've got here isn't perfect, it isn't complete, any of that, but you know what? We've got some, and that'll do for now. So, it is called Dimensional Phase. It is obviously BT-11. We've just had EX3. We weren't going to have another one yet, unfortunately. That was just not going to be the case. And we've got 115 types of cards, 44 common, 30 uncommon, 26 rare, 12 super rare, and 3 secret rare. So we can compare that with BT10 and see that actually, yeah, that's kind of right, except there's more super rares. Now, the BT10 was kind of interesting cross-encounter because they gave us 3 secret rares, and we've had 3 secret rares in a set before, but 2 had been standard. Well, now not only have we got a 3rd secret rare, and like I've said, 2 were standard for a while, but we had 3 in BT10, which I find very, very interesting. And we then again had 2 in EX3, which is quite nice. But does that mean that 2 in a main set is standard? I don't know. 2 main sets in a row with 3 secret rares seems relevant to me, put it that way. And then we've got 12 super rares, which is unusual. There were 10 in BT10, and there were 10 in BT9, and there were 10 in BT8. I'm not going to keep going back, you get the point here. It's kind of interesting that we actually see an extra 2 secret rares here. That's not something we would generally be expecting. Now, there is something you could point out here, and I do think it is a fair point. Well, hang on a second. If we've now apparently gone up to 3 secret rares, and then we're adding in an extra 2 super rares on top of what we would usually expect, is that gonna make the set harder to collect? Yes. Well, I'm not going to be around the bush here. Yeah, it is. Like, if they've given us extra secret rares, and they've given us extra super rares, then yes, over time, that is obviously going to make the sets harder to collect. Is this unusual, or is it the new normal? We don't know. Like I say, 10 super rares has been standard. And I'm not going to, but you can just keep going back. And there's 10 super rares. Sets have 10 super rares. Now, there were 11 back in BT6, admittedly. It's not a super hard and fast rule, but this is notable. This is extremely notable. We don't have a description, unfortunately, at this stage, so I'm not going to go through description or start making loads of predictions or any of that stuff. All I'm really going to tell you at the moment is that it's interesting that there's extra super rares. It's interesting that there's a 3rd secret rare again. And that means that, adding more high-end cards just makes the sets harder to collect overall. And I do think that's kind of interesting. And everything I said is totally relevant and totally counts and still is absolutely true. But about an hour after I finished recording this video, Bandai just went and revealed the set. So it is called Dimension Phase, and everything we said is absolutely relevant and still needs to be said, so I'm going to keep it in there. But we've actually got the booster pack artwork. And we've got a confirmed release date for the 30th of September, which I know is what I said to you a moment ago, but that is now confirmed. It's also the day after my birthday, so, happy birthday to me. We've got a couple of those littler Digimon on the front of the pack. Read into that what you will. And then we've got a little bit of information. Now, there is going to be a box purchase privilege card, i.e. box topper. We don't know what that is. But there is also going to be a box purchase campaign content. Every box, you get a paper chase. Well, basically you get a little paper deck box. Cardboard deck box. Featuring those 4 Digimon, which is really kind of awesome. We like this. But there's also something going on here because there's 3 cards being reprinted with new designs that excellent compatibility with BT11, i.e. there are 3 cards being reprinted, but they are being reprinted because they work really well with stuff that is coming in BT11, which I think sounds like an awful lot of fun. So they're going to be alternate art, but they're going to work with stuff coming in the set, and actually it is 3 of the 4 that are featured on these paper deck boxes I just showed you. So we've got ourselves a lovely Old Force Veedramon. I know, just in case that needed any more support, they are really trying to make that really, really good. And now this is the Old Force Veedramon from way back in BT2, the second set. If your blue tamer becomes rested, this Digimon becomes active. And if this Digimon becomes active during your main phase, you gain a memory. All of which is, of course, a very good thing that we should be rather gosh darn happy about. So this seems pretty gosh darn cool. That's going to work with stuff in there. We've also got ourselves Machinedramon, which is coming back with alternate artwork. Now, this is the one from EX1. So it's a little bit of a more recent card. It's weird. They for some reason, they've made the art on the website. They've made it very faint and put a question mark and are now designing over it. So you can see which card it is they're redesigning. They're just really making you work for it. So this is the secret rare, the only secret rare from EX1. When you play, you can place up to 5 level 5 red and or black cards with cyborg in their traits and different card numbers from your hand and or trash in this Digimon's Digivolution cards and gain 1 memory for each one placed, potentially making this a 7 cost to play, which is cheap. The power cannot be reduced, and on all turns when this Digimon would be deleted, you can trash 2 level 5s from under it to prevent it being deleted. Bearing in mind you should have 5 level 5s under it at least. That sounds pretty gosh darn good to me. And then we've got ourselves a Mastermon coming in here as well. They are clearly going for the crowd pleasers, the popular Digimon. This is the Mastermon that actually came around pretty recently in Starter Deck 10. Not that long ago at all. And this is the one that's got DNA Digivolution from a yellow level 5 and a purple level 5. When Digivolving, you place a yellow or purple Digimon card from your trash on top of your security face down. And then when Digivolving, you can search your security for a level 5 or lower card and play it for free. And then on all turns, when you play another Digimon using an effect, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a level equal to or lower than the played Digimon's level. Cool. So yeah, this all sounds pretty gosh darn good, quite frankly. We've got deck boxes, and they seem to be cardboard, let's not go over the top. But there's deck boxes there. There's obviously box toppers, though we haven't seen them yet. And they're reprinting some popular cards with new art, which are apparently going to work very well with BT11. So there we go. There's a mid-video update, because apparently nowadays I can't finish a video without something else being revealed that makes me edit it into my video. But in more concrete news that we know a little bit more about, we've actually got news of a new box which is coming out over in Japan, and this looks awesome. Now, this news came from the lovely folks over at DTCG Review, but it is actually just literally being listed on the official website. Shout out DTCG Review because they're awesome. But yeah, I mean, it's literally just sitting there on the official website. Now, essentially, it's being sold on the online lobby for a limited time, and you get yourself a half storage box and 24 promos, so you get 2 of each of the ones on the screen, which is extremely cool. And these are weird because these are all over the place. These are promos that, it's a real mishmash of promos. So, for instance, the Lord Nightmon was an event pack promo that we had a little while ago, which is kind of cool. The Gallantmon is another promo that we've had for a little while now. That was a promo that came around, well, it was for store championship, so you could get a participant stamp or a champion stamp, etc. The Jesmon is one that came around in an event pack as well, and these are obviously some of the more sought after ones because they are your big level 6s, they're lovely, all of that good stuff. But then you've got other weird ones. That Lydramon, we literally just saw for the first time the other day. That is one of those promos that is coming around at regional championships. The new regionals, which are just coming around now. And similarly, the Doragamon, again from those regional championships, is here. But there are 7 cards in that regional championship set. 2 of them are finding their way into that box, but the rest of them aren't. And it is worth noting that some of those cards are actually new. Now, I do need to give some massive shout-outs here, because when DTCG Review posted this up, I responded, oh, hey, some of those are new, aren't they? Some of those we haven't seen before. And it took, before I even got a chance to check myself, it took seconds for people to be like, oh, here's a list of the ones that are new. So shout out to Reed Jigglypuff, who did give a list of the new ones here, and also to Matthew Shafik as well, just for telling me what the new ones are, and that's really rather lovely. But before we get to these new ones, I want to just put the English Lord Nightmon on the screen again. And then I want to put the English Gallantmon on the screen again. And look at them next to these new cards. And you'll actually notice they're not the same. Now, they're the same artwork, and functionally they're the same card, no argument here, but they're not actually the same, because the English cards have borders on, whereas the Japanese ones don't, and I'm sorry, I refuse anyone to tell me the English cards look better. They look so much cooler in Japanese. So that is kind of an interesting one there. And actually, we can keep going with this. The Lydramon is just so much better because they've taken off a proper pronounced border. Same with the Doragamon, and I'm not going to keep doing this, all right? Point is, yes, these are the same promos we've had in English, but these aren't the same promos we've had in English. They are better versions. Like I say, the Lord Nightmon taking off that subtle border is big, but the Lydramon taking off that proper border is genuinely big. So yeah, this is kind of cool. Which ones are actually new then? So let's go through that little bit of a list. So that Submarimon is a new card. That's the one from BT8. It can Digivolve from Armadillamon for a 2-cost. It's got Armor Purge, and when you need Digivolve, you trash the bottom card of one of your opponent's Digimon, and then one of your opponent's Digimon with no Digivolution cards loses 3,000 power for the turn. It's very, very cool. We've got a reprint of the Gatomon, the Starter Deck Gatomon, the dual color Gatomon from Starter Deck 10, that lets you look at the top 3 cards of your deck when you play it and grab a yellow and purple Digimon. That's why most people play it. That's a really good skill. But it can DNA Digivolve as an inheritable skill, or when you Digivolve normally into an Archangel or Fallen Angel, you reduce the cost by 2. So it is a cool card that people do tend to play. There is a reprint of a Shuramon here that we've not seen before. This is another dual color one. This one came around in BT8. It's your dual color green and red. Interestingly enough, the only Shuramon we've seen so far. It's got armor release, and when Digivolving, one of your opponent's Digimon with blocker can neither attack nor block until the end of your opponent's next turn, which seems fairly useful. We've got an alternate art of Angemon here, and I think it's fair to say we've had more than one Angemon released, but we've not had more than one dual color blue and yellow Angemon. So this is the one from BT8. That when you would Digivolve, if you have 3 or fewer security cards, you recover 1. And when attacking as an inheritable skill, if you've got 3 or more security, you return one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon to its owner's hand. And then we've got a new copy of Venom Myotismon coming in here as well. Now this is another one where there has been a bunch of them, but this is actually the promo Venice Myotismon. The one that it's the one that came around in that promo pack a while ago. It's promo 20, one of the earlier ones. But when it's deleted, you can play a level 4 or lower purple Digimon from your trash for free. Although you don't get any when played effects. And that is a card that came out as a promo. People want reprints of these promo cards, so it's nice that we're getting them. So there's 12 cards coming in here in all. It looks like 5 of them are new, which is really kind of awesome. And you know what? I want this box. Because like I showed you, even the Japanese versions of cards we've already had are better because they've taken off the borders. It's being sold at the Evolution Cup, and you have to kind of buy it from the online lobby, and it's a little awkward. And it's 3,500 yen, which is an absolute bargain for what it is. And I, for one, am absolutely delighted. Now, up to 4 sets can be purchased per person. So if I've got any viewers who are over in that neck of the woods and are able to enter this tournament and fancy picking one of these up and then reselling it to me for a not ridiculous price, come on, hit me up on Twitter at @TheWassy. I would be delighted. For now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to know what you think about this, and I want to know what you think about the new set. So let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWassy. That's where we talk Digimon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, and all kinds of fun things. But by far, the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wassy Plays.